All right, Coach. Jesse, Jaime, assistant coach here at Menlo College.
Yes, sir.
There's two banners hanging behind you. 2019 Women's Wrestling National Invitational Champion. 2019 WCWA Women's Wrestling National Champion, right? So what I'm getting at is there's going to be another banner hanging up here soon.
Yes, sir. There will be. Not too sure date-wise when it will be, but it's going to be up pretty soon. We got a pretty big, promising date looking forward with some alumni, as well as our team, as well as me and Mike. Happen in October. We have a big event called Oktoberfest, where we got to get a lot of our alumni, a lot of our families. We kind of just have a good little gathering, pretty big event. But yeah, that's most likely when we'll have it up. But you'll be seeing it very soon.
Well, let's talk about what the banner is going to say.
Yeah, NAI, National Champs, man. Took some time. Me and Mike putting in a lot of series, putting a lot of things together. But it flourished, man. So we're looking forward, like I said, to having it up and putting it up with some families and some of the kids.
All right. I'm going to probably insult you a little bit here, so bear with me. I'm an old school wrestling dad.
Yeah.
My boys came through the come up. They're like D1 or bust, right? It's Ohio State. It's whatever, Penn, whatever, right? Neither of my boys are good enough to do that, okay? The truth of the matter is, especially in women's wrestling, D1, D2, NAIA, there's really a level playing field, right?
Yep.
So what I'm getting at here is with that banner, you're an NAIA national championship team. You won the team, but really it's bigger than that.
Yeah. Man, honestly, yeah, I feel like, it's a culture, family dynamic here. I feel like there's a lot of different things that's implemented into this, aside from just being good wrestlers on the team. It takes a whole foundation, luckily fortunately it's just me and Mike. We would love obviously some extra help, but at the end of the day, me and him every single day, just making sure that we collaborate, making sure that everything is in routine, schedule wise. Even with the kids, man, we're really about just that cognitive work. My man, has a degree in psychology. He works with clinicals, and that's actually something I'm doing here. I'm in the grad program here, and my job is to make sure that I'm really connecting with the athletes on a cognitive level, and just being able to express and just honestly get on the same note as them. Is that way when we get out here on the mat, as well as just being on there in the real world, man, they're just able to capitalize and just understand, like, man, I can get through this, I can get through out there. Very cliche, as every coach, as every leader would say, but it's the truth. And I feel like we've done a great job together. Two different styles, two different people, but I feel like when you bring two different things together, mesh it, and you got two different individuals that are hungry, that we're at a I guess you could say at a prime age, man, where we're just at that age where we can mesh with our athletes, but also to be the leader and older, to where hey, like, we could look up to our coaches because they've been here before, and it wasn't too long ago. You know what I mean? So but yeah, man, that's really what flourishes itself. You know what I mean? But yeah.
All right, so the cliche part that you brought up is about how a coach will always say they're going to lead them into things beyond wrestling, right? Out in the real world. And of course, that's so true. That's why I love the sport of wrestling so much. It translates well. But what I like what you said that's different than what a lot of other people said is the psychology part.
Absolutely.
Especially when it comes to women's wrestling. How does that work out?
Honestly, man, I was, prior to this, I was a lead assistant for Life Pacific University. Prior to this, for 2 years, so I led the men's and women's team. So it was kind of like a kind of stepping stone for myself, leaving Notre Dame, as well as, right out of COVID, getting a job opportunity to go and coach at a private school down near home. But honestly, I just feel like at the end of the day, it was just more so of just being able to just connect with these athletes from a different level, as well as just, honestly, from a men as well as a woman's perspective. I'm the oldest of four. I have three little sisters. I have my sister who graduated from Oklahoma City University, Jaime, as well as, my sister, Jaylene Jaime. She's, she wrestled at Life Pacific with me. So, and my sister's in high school right now wrestling. So, I've been around the dynamic of women's wrestling. I've seen Tatiana Suarez, who's fighting in the UFC. I grew up around her family. I'm really close with their little brother, Ricky Badilla. So, at the end of the day, I've seen a lot of growth with women's wrestling. And, it's me being an older brother. I've honestly fell in that mesh of understanding women, being an older brother, like I said, but also to just understanding me as a person, as a young boy growing up. I'm an athlete that I'm passive aggressive type thing, where you know, I honestly need to understand, you know, my coach from another perspective. Like, hey, he has to understand my flaws, you know, and be able to, you know, monetize that as well as like structure it in a different way and help me grow. You know, so I just feel like at the end of the day, you know, men and women, they're going to be different, but just being able to mesh with your athlete is 100%, you know, the best thing for you as a coach, you know, and a leader. So
You mentioned a couple things that do have one thing that you mentioned has an Ohio connection, but I got another one for you, right?
Yeah.
Notre Dame College.
yes, sir.
You spent 2 years there?
About 2.5 years. Yep.
2.5 years there on a team, very successful teams back in the day, right?
Yes, sir.
Unfortunately, they cut the program.
Yeah.
That's a topic for a different day. We don't want to talk negativity.
Yeah.
So there's an Ohio connection, right?
Yeah, man.
To come out here, you know, Northern Ohio, even all over the state to recruit.
Yep.
Right? So you can talk Midwest. You
Yep.
can talk that language. Here's the other one that I got for you.
Yeah.
There's somebody from Northern Ohio that was born in Northern Ohio that lived here. You know who I'm talking about?
Whew.
The school's named, or the town's named after him.
Man, actually, it's not ringing a bell right now.
Thomas Edison?
Thomas Edison.
I'm trying to be tricky, man.
Yeah,
You had to
yeah.
shift from wrestling. Sorry, I don't want to
No,
throw you
no,
under the
no,
bus.
it's all good.
So it's Ohio Connections. It's
Yeah,
another
no,
one,
that's
right?
true,
Thomas
that's true.
Edison is from Milan, Ohio.
Yeah, yeah.
Milan, right? So then he comes out here and spends his rest of his days. Anyways, sorry.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of a stretch.
No,
Back
it's
to
funny.
wrestling. All right. So successful year.
Yeah.
Tell me about a recruit you're looking for. It doesn't have to be Ohio specific.
Yeah.
A lot of California people out here. You're
Yeah.
from Southern California,
Yes, sir.
so there's connection there as well.
Yep.
What are you looking for in a recruit?
Honestly, man, we're looking for high-level individuals that are willing to be coachable at the end of the day, that's willing to expand their inventory. You know, we understand that, you know, a lot of kids come with different inventory and, you know, they come from different backgrounds, different club coaches, different environments, you know, and we just bring something different here. And like I said, going back to being family-oriented, I think that's a big thing here. Once we collaborate with our athletes and get them on that note of, hey, this is a family, you'll see it's kind of hard to explain. It's one of those things where you step in, you understand, you know, and you'll see a whole dynamic of a system just being ran from point A to, you know, Z type thing. But, you know, I just feel like, you know, that we separate from a lot of different people just because of the fact that, you know, we have such a family-oriented unit here. But yeah.
That translates into championships.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you can't have a better, you know, a better example
Yeah.
than hoisting that trophy at the end of the year.
Oh no, absolutely, it was a grateful feeling, man. You know, I'll a little sidetrack, but you know, man, my first year here, it was definitely tough for me and Mike stepping in as a new role, and you know, I think this is like an unforgettable moment for me. But I think, you know, at the end of the national championship, man, you know, it was definitely hard transitioning as coaches into this new role, and him being a new leader, man. It was a thing where, yeah, we took what was it, fourth, Mike? Like, so we took fourth, and you know, it was one of those things where, you know, our goal was to get first, and you know, he looked at me, he looked devastated, but I looked him in the eye, I said, hey brother, we're gonna make this happen next year, and we're gonna get a system going, we're gonna get everything going, and man, it flourished. And I just remember his face again when he looked at me a year later. It's like, wow, like we really did put the time to do it, and anything's possible, brother. Anything's possible, man.
It is. All right, Coach, thank you so much for the time.
sir.
What else am I missing? What else do you have for us?
Nothing, man. You know, if you're really, like I said, you're willing to, you know, come in and, you know, be with a good unit, good family-oriented unit, and, you know, you really want to be successful in the wrestling world, but also, too, academically, and, you know, make some good money out here in California, you know, we're the place for it, you know. So me and Ayala are definitely looking for some good athletes that want to come in and do the whole nine. So,
Awesome.
Yep,
Thanks, Coach.
of course. Thank you.